go ahead and compare external validity to internal validity. External validity is the extent to which results from a study can be applied to a different situation or a different group. So in other words, you can think of external validity as generalizability. Again, it is the extent to which results from a study can be applied to a different situation or to a different group. So let's go ahead and see an example of a situation where there would be low external validity. So there's a type of bias called sampling bias. And sampling bias is if the study population does not represent the target population. So if your study population does not represent the target population of interest, this would be a type of sampling bias. If you have sampling bias, that will decrease your external validity. And this is because your study sample, which is the study sample that you're reading about, let's say in the randomized control trial that you see published in the New England Journal of Medicine, you see, let's say, a study sample of 1,000 adult patients with type 2 diabetes. But your target population is a much larger population. Your target population is all adult patients with type 2 diabetes. So if your study sample, this smaller sample down here, does not represent your target population of all adult patients with type 2 diabetes, then that would be a form of sampling bias. And if the study population does not represent the target population, then this would actually decrease your external validity. And so there's an important concept, which is sort of like this trade-off between internal validity and external validity. And it's the idea that if I have this perfectly designed randomized controlled trial that has great internal validity, then this may actually come at the expense of decreasing my external validity, because now I've just created this perfect study sample in a very controlled environment that maybe it won't be as generalizable to my larger target population. So just to recap what external validity is that external validity is basically the extent to which results from a study can be applied to a different situation, or I like to think of it as a different context. And there are different things that can basically be a threat to external validity. And one of those is a sampling bias. So if for whatever reason your study sample is not actually a good representation of your target population, then you're going to introduce sampling bias, and that is going to decrease the external validity, or the extent to which the results of your study could be generalized to a different context or a different situation.